So there is a lot of talk in singing forums, vocal pedagogy books, and voice studios about the importance of singing with an open throat. I get a lot of questions about this, and I've received several requests to record a video on this series, so here I am. I cannot promise that this is going to be a short series because there are so many components of the vocal tract that need to be configured, as well as other aspects of technique that need to be addressed and balanced out when we're working on opening up the throat. Realistically, it will probably take me about 3 videos to cover this whole topic. The open throat refers to a given vocal tract posture, but that posture that we describe as open, that we aim for, depends on what style we're singing in. All the top voice scientists and researchers who study both classical singers and those who sing in contemporary commercial styles of music, CCM, do not support the notion that the throat posturing of the vocalist singing in commercial styles is the same as that of the opera singer. If it were, they would all sound exactly the same. So, what CCM singers and teachers are referring to when they say that they sing with an open throat is not the same as what a classical singer is referring to when he or she says that he or she is singing with an open throat. It's not the same as the open throat that we read about in classical pedagogical literature. The bottom line is, when singers and teachers say that they are singing with an open throat, they're actually referring to a subjective experience. The physical sensation of the throat being non-constricted, free, almost passive in sensation, and that, more so than the actual and precise positioning of the various components of the vocal tract, is the primary objective of all techniques aimed at opening up the throat. Now, with that said, in this series I am going to be describing the open throat, gola aperta in Italian, using this traditional definition. This definition includes a larynx that is comfortably low, not simply neutral or at speech level, a pharynx that is dilated without being overly distended so that the pharynx, not the mouth, is the primary resonator, false vocal folds that are retracted so that they don't interfere with airflow or resonance, a soft palate that's both high and wide to avoid unwanted nasality and the trapping of higher overtones behind it, and a tongue root that is leaning up against the front wall of the throat, the pharynx, so that it's out of the way. The goal of this open throat posture is to maximize authentic resonating space within the pharynx, which will not only help the voice feel free and comfortable, but it'll also give it depth and warmth and help it to function more efficiently and improve vocal registration. When the throat is opened, according to this traditional definition, it creates a certain timbre, a balance between the light and dark aspects of tone, the chiaroscuro timbre that we hear in classical singing. And this quality is not suitable to commercial styles of singing. So this is why I say that the open throat posture that's typically described in most classical literature is not directly used in commercial styles of singing, regardless of the subjective experience of the singer. I just want to stress something here. How we believe we're shaping our throats during singing is not necessarily how they are actually being shaped. The majority of voice researchers, from Sundberg to Titze to Bozeman to Estill, have consistently found that, especially in belting, the larynx moves into a higher position, which in turn narrows the pharynx because when the larynx moves up, it cuts off the wider base of the pharynx. The area epiglottis narrows, and some have found that the tongue also moves farther back for trained belters as compared to trained opera singers. The vocal tract posture, this one, helps to maintain the first formant at a high frequency above the second harmonic in order to maintain thyroarytenoid or chest voice dominance higher in the scale, which is critical for legitimate professionally viable belt technique. But the sensation in the throat is still that of openness and freedom. So I sing strictly in commercial styles, but please don't think that I am advocating or pushing the classical open throat posture for all singing needs and outcomes. However, I do have all of my students, regardless of their preferred singing styles, initially train their voices using this classical vocal tract setup. Once they can achieve this openness and freedom in the throat, they can then explore other ways of shaping their throats to create the kinds of sounds that they desire. If they can achieve a low larynx, for example, then they'll also be able to stabilize the larynx in a neutral or even slightly high posture. They'll know how to achieve balance and avoid extreme postures and tensions that could be injurious and detrimental to the vocal tone. Just for the sake of organization in this series, I'm going to break this teaching down into sections based on the individual components of the vocal tract, but it must be understood that these components, although separate and possessing their own unique postures and actions and roles, are all interconnected and interdependent to some extent. Breath management is also included in this interdependence because how we manage our breath pressure levels and glottal airflow affects the shapes and positioning of the supraglottal vocal tract. So that's the vocal tract above the vocal folds. It's an entire system that functions together as a unit. So if a given component is out of place or is functioning without balance, we can't necessarily address that single part in isolation, directly trying to manipulate it into a better posture. We have to look at that entire voice system and find the root cause of that faulty positioning or action. So I'm going to stop here for now. It seems like a perfectly logical place to take a break. And then in a couple days, I am going to come back and I'm going to continue this discussion by talking about achieving a comfortably low position of the larynx. If I have time, I will also get to the pharynx, false vocal folds, soft palate, and tongue. If you have not already subscribed to this channel and you're interested in hearing the rest of this series, please do so now so that you'll receive notifications when I post those other videos. Thank you so much for tuning in today and watching, and I will chat with you soon. Take care.